Hello Internet, I'm me, and wow, okay. So, I just got done with the Uchu Sentai Q Ranger review. It's actually being uploaded as I speak now. And I'm going to get into the Kamen Rider Ex Aid. Now, this is going to be a review and overview, but I am going to go through this quite quickly as my uploading process here, it is not ideal. So, let's get into this. Oh, Kamen Rider Ex Aid, I love you. I love it a lot. As many people have already probably pointed out, that Kamen Rider Ex Aid is very popular. It is very good. There's a lot I like about the show, and there's some issues I have with the show. I know, I just reached for something and just put my head right in the camera. But there are some of the things in the show that need ironing out. The comedy segments, for the most part. A lot of people call them the cringe parts of the episode, and I'm like, don't do that. But all I'm really saying is, like, Kamen Rider Gaim, I'm sorry, not Gaim, Ex Aid, shit. I like it. The storylines are really good. Imu is a lot more... It does remind me of Kamen Rider Gaim, where we're getting a lot of powers, we're getting a lot of forms, and then once we get the forms, we're allowed to show more about how these powers work and intertwine with the characters themselves. The fact that, these are Kamen Riders who can't use their powers without compatibility surgery. And then once that's revealed, it's left to the audience to kind of question... Okay, if you have to have a compatibility surgery, why is Imu able to use it without compatibility surgery? And one of the things is that, yes, they do mention that and they do question it in the show. There's like about an episode and a half where no one says anything about it because nobody knows that he didn't do it. So it's one of those things where it's mentioned beforehand, and then once you question it, they question it, and it makes it the episodes flow very nicely. The fact that you guys, my favorite parts of the show are, like, the facts that, though they do some of the cringy crap, or the more silly stuff, like, Burgermon episode. Yeah, that was silly. But, again, if you know, and it's a callback to a lot of old school video games, like, Burger Rush. That was actually a fun-ass game. So seeing a video game where it's like you assemble a burger and it becomes a monster, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious and kind of awesome. And then, man, are they making Gim just a bastard of a villain, just a bastard. He kills Burgermon, he kills Laser, he kills, and he's an immortal fuck, so you can't kill him back. And that's the interesting thing. Some of these powers, they're not just your standard, okay, this one's stronger than that one, so I win. The dangerous zombie Gashot has proven this over and over again, that characters can get to level 50 while, the dangerous zombie Gashot is only a level 10. However, and again, they've brought this up, where it's like you don't question it until it's brought up. And in the newest episode, they reveal that the dangerous zombie Gashot is not only a level 10, but it's a level X, meaning it's an unknown, it's an X factor Gashot. So we're going to figure out what the hell that means later on, and I'm really excited to see, especially with Palada coming back to Gim, even though it seemed like they were adversaries at this point, because he's using the Bugsters just as a means to an end. And I have a theory on that, but whatever. So that was my thing on that. But again, the power sets are pretty interesting. The fact that a Gashot that is about burgers and the characters on roller skates with condiment blast can do some damage, and it's only a level 4. It's not even a level 5, it's a level 4, and yet it could still do some damage and actually have some good maneuverability and show that, yeah, it's a sillier power, but it still can be used in a way that can defeat them, and which bolsters the idea that these are characters based on video games. Where in some video games, and if you're a gamer, you know this, especially if you're a gamer like me who plays like there's a game. One of my favorite games is Kingdom Hearts, and people will do runs of the game on the hardest difficulty or go up against the hardest secret bosses with stuff like the weakest weapons and like the standard like basic weapon that you got, or even try to find mods to get like a wooden sword if you know Kingdom Hearts. But you'll do that, but you'll still be able to win because it's your skill versus what the power set is. And stuff like that showing up in the show is really what makes it kind of interesting, that these powers may fluctuate in just straight up strength, but how you use them can actually beat out just straight up level. So I'm interested. I like that. I'm loving that about this show, that it keeps switching it up. With Gashots, changing hands from different villains to heroes to villains, people losing Gashots, getting them back, all that kind of stuff is really fun. The biggest complaint I have about Kamen Rider Ex Aid is the comedy. The comedy is a bit unbalanced. As it gets... I know what it is, like corporate-wise and producer-wise, I know what it is. It's, hey, we're dealing with these heavier kind of issues, showing deaths, really kind of just betrayals and backstabs and hidden secrets and all this stuff. The kids are gonna like just, after a while. So you throw in the wacky comedy and the pulpy people pull kind of shit, which always kind of silly. But they've gotten a bit. They know it's always with a bit of tongue in cheek. But a lot of it is a bit over the top. It is a bit heavy. However, so far this show has been hugely entertaining, incredibly interesting. The design work. My friend doesn't like the design work. He does not like the design of the costumes, mostly because of the eyes. The eyes he thinks are too big, and to me, I understand that. However, with video games, and especially video game characters and avatars, you do have those big eyes, so I can get behind why they would design it like that, but I can also get why people would not like some of the designs. The fact that the characters level up is an interesting concept and a really cool way of visualizing the Kamen Riders doing this. And of course, after a while, they even start skipping level 1 just completely. Like they've done that, and I like the idea. And I get that this show is probably expensive as all hell, and so that's why we get same monsters or like the same 5 monsters or so coming back every now and then, just being upgraded, or having Gemu really be our main villain while they work on other bigger, better suits like the Palada suit or the King of Fantasy suit, or the level 99 that's being rumored to come out, which looks giant and big and fuck off. So there's a lot that I understand production-wise about this that makes me give it a lot more leeway than I think most people would give. And so I'll say this. To me, on a whole, completely a whole, Kamen Rider Ex Aid has to be... It's an 8.5 out of 10. Close to a 9. I would watch this show. I've watched parts of the show over and over and over again because they were just so entertaining. And I've gotten people who don't like Tokusatsu, don't like Kamen Rider, don't know anything about it, really actually liking what they see because they recognize the nods to video games. They recognize some of the old school 80s throwback kind of stuff, especially in the first battle where he blows on the Gashot before he puts it in like it was a cartridge, or when the Mighty Brothers Double X comes out and they pull a Super Mario Brothers move on the monster. Just a lot of good stuff that people recognize immediately. Like I didn't even have to explain where the references were going because people would just watch it and be like, yeah, that's where it is. So I say that is a good mark of a show that somebody who's not a fan, people who don't keep up with it, can watch it. And I've been even seeing it on other geek forums coming out. People are like, oh my god, this video game series, what is this? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm seeing Kamen Rider Ex Aid in comic book forums and shit like that because they're loving it. They like what they see. So To me, it's an 8.5 out of 10, close to a 9, so close. But we have to go out and see what's gonna happen next, how this show is gonna end. We're getting more clues into what's gonna happen and what's going on. I know I said this was gonna be short, but fuck, I went on a rant and rantles, and I'm basically just like jizzing all over the show because I like it. It's a really good show. I'm going to do episodic reviews from now on, because, again, I caught up finally. But after this, again, we're just going to go episode by episode rather than just me overviewing series of episodes. This and Uchu Sentai Q Ranger are getting me back into tokusatsu heavily. And I hope I can get more videos out here. I know I'm going to do my Power Rangers trailer feel, and that'll be later. That'll be later today, but later on, because I gotta upload and do all this shit. But a lot of good stuff happening in Toku right now, and I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen next. So until next time, guys, peace out.